Right, here's where things start going wrong normally. Stage 5. Stage 5 is just one of those kind of levels where stuff can go wrong even if you don't want it to. The whole main idea of this one is there's a lot of massive familiar spawning, and Marisa traditionally has a lot of trouble getting time on this stage. However, I finally learned how I'm going to do that, so, you know, I should be able to get the time bonus for this one, but if I don't, well, you know, don't say I haven't warned you. So, lots of bunny fairies in this place, and they all spawn randomly, which can get in the way. You've got to be a little bit careful with the needles here, obviously, because they can definitely, you know, get in your way a hell of a lot. But there we go, that's fine. Now, because of the super armor on the fairies, you don't want to go under them straight away if you want to be collecting time, unless you're using a yokai. Which you normally will be, of course, but because I'm not using a yokai, I have to change my tactics a bit, and that generally happens a lot as well, and it's a big pain in the ass. That's, I hate it because I shouldn't be dying at stuff like that, but as I've said today, I've been dying a lot more at the stages than the bosses. It's really random. Anyway, we have a new character over here, a big rabbit called Tewi Inaba, I guess, to be exact. I hate this first non-spell, actually. It's fine until she starts doing that, and then when the red ones come up, if I'm not in a very good position, I auto-bomb it because I'm generally screwed at that point, so whatever. The second one is actually a bit easier than the first one to do, so the way you do it is to force your way through the crisscross, and it's actually perfectly fine. She dropped an extra life, of course, which is always good. Now, these needles are aimed at you, so you can stream it from side to side. Try and kill as many of the bunnies that are spawning them as possible, just because that would actually make your life a lot easier to get across the other side of the screen. And yeah, the familiar fairies can help a little bit in getting across. There we go, right, okay. Now, these fairies have a very long-lasting hitbox type of thing, and yeah, they generally last a long time. Obviously, that's what I've just said, but you know, it needs repeating sometimes, because it just does, I don't know. And I should have killed that one, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I wouldn't have got the point items anyway. Make sure you get the 2 bombs from this bit, because that's very, very important. And look at that, over 6,000 time, that's definitely much, much better than I used to get. I used to be lucky if I had 3,000 time by the end of the stage. But since I've learned a lot more of how to do it, it's definitely more doable, and I should still make the 10,000 time point requirement. I don't know why it's 9,999 actually. It's really random, because 10,000 time is definitely something that could be done in this game, but you know, maybe it's just a random number, I suppose. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. I've just looked at my greys there as well. I have over 5,000 wow, that's incredible. I don't think I had nearly that many in my Cherry Blossom run. So anyhow, Alice is now going to ask about the moon incident, and of course, yeah, return the moon now or return it after some punishment. Marisa is just so direct, it's hilarious, you know. So yeah, Alice's moment of coolness has been stolen. That's fine, because she doesn't need a moment of coolness anyway. And a new character, well, you're kind of out there. You have a very cool looking thing though. It's like a little constellation thing on your hat and everything as well. That's quite nice. However, she is not our main target, to be honest. But yeah, she has quite a nasty power, apparently. And she knows the type of magic that we're using. Wow, that's kind of creepy. And yeah, okay, fair enough. So yeah, suits and priests, whatever, we'll just leave it to the rabbit. Why the hell not? Whatever. We're not going to get to see the princess, apparently. Well, is that something we wanted to do in the first place? I don't know, but apparently that's something we're not allowed to do. So yeah, Marisa's kind of pissed that Eren has just ran away, and yeah, pretty much. But she might not actually be who we're after. And Reisen is now the one getting pissed, yada yada. Her theme music is awesome, and actually as a boss she is not nearly as hard as a lot of the stage 5 bosses have been, so you know, it's just there. I used to have a lot of problems with Reisen, especially with Marisa, and You're probably going to see that in my spell card records for this, but I've definitely done a lot better in recent times. Now, this non-card is quite easy actually if you pay attention. The bullets are a little bit difficult to predict at the start. Oh, come off it, really? Wow. Okay, so it is still easy to do, but apparently I fail at doing it. Oh well, whatever. This is a very odd card. It's something that I have to do straight down the middle because Marisa cannot do this one from the sides. She doesn't have the firepower range to get there. However, that makes this card very, very scary because that can happen way too often. My god, here is me saying I actually can do Reisen nowadays as well, and I didn't actually need to use that bomb apparently, but you know, because I've been doing so bad at this so far, I kind of needed to use that just to actually stay safe. Wow, I don't even think I'm going to get the time requirement anymore. This is horrible. Whatever, it's still possible if I do well from here on out, so yeah. I like this card a lot. I used to struggle with this one hugely, but right now I've been doing okay at it. The general idea is to move up during the, you know, the lunacy wave thing and try and make sure you find a wide enough gap to get into. Like there, you know, just try and find where the big holes are and you're okay. Of course, I've not really been doing that very much here, to be honest, but I've been doing it enough, and Marisa killing some of the familiars helps a tiny bit during that one, but not hugely. Anyhow, this non-card is a very strange one. I think it's aimed fire, mostly. It's definitely aimed a little bit, because if you start at the top of the screen, you're pretty much screwed with this one. Now, Marisa killing familiars definitely helped a little bit there. And then this card, oh god, this card is a thing. Basically, you want to be going back down the bottom and trying to brute force your way up. The aimed fire is annoying, but it doesn't tend to impact that much. Try and force your way through the sides of the, you know, the bullet wall here, and it's okay. And yeah, that happens way too often, just ramming into stuff. This is really not a good Reisen fight whatsoever. Wow. Never mind, I still have enough time because I will get enough time during this one. Now she makes the bullets fully invisible. However, they are not fatal when they're invisible, so this card is generally not too bad. Watch out for the familiar trails though, because they can get in the way if you're not paying attention. But they aren't too bad, and it's just simply moving up at the right spots. I can't believe how badly I've done at this fight actually. This is just terrible. I actually probably got lucky there as well actually, but nah, whatever, don't mind too much. And really? Oh, Jesus freaking hell. My mouse even comes up on the screen because, I am... Holy crap. That is the worst Reisen fight I have done in a long time. I am shocked. Utterly shocked. Oh well, whatever. I guess it's not a huge deal. The last word is bullshit anyway, so the only thing that would have been a benefit to have would have been gaining the time for it. However, you know, the half hour bonus thing. However, you are not allowed to continue if you pick stage 6B anyway, so it's not going to benefit me either way, unfortunately. 6,700 grays though, Jesus Christ. Still annoying that I failed that badly at that fight, but can't do much about it now. Okay, so final stage, stage 6B. It's a thing. We're just gonna put it that way. I don't always get that first bit done as well as that actually, but sometimes it just works for me. So I'm gonna have one more extra life by the end of this, which is good, you know, and then that's it pretty much. This bit is annoying. It depends on how lucky you are as to how easy this goes, because the fairies spawn in a random place, and you know, it can be very kind to you like it is here, or it can be very nasty to you depending on what it feels like. The more familiars that are on the screen when you kill the fairies, the more point items you get for it, so it's definitely worth having lots of them on the screen. But sometimes it's not possible. However, it is definitely something that is worth getting, you know, done. This is the final wave, so I'm just going to stay up here and wait for that one to die by Aaron coming in. Still get the point items, and look at that, 1,300 point items by this point. It's definitely not anywhere near as high a score as I had last time, so I won't be breaking that high score, but let's just go for it anyway. Erin wants to stop us from going any further, and she does so with these annoying little crisscross patterns over here. I think there's supposed to be an aimed part of this as well, you know, like aimed blue circles, but maybe Marisa just kills the familiars too fast and they never spawn, I don't know. Screw this card, by the way, I hate this card so much. Even with Marisa killing most of the fire, this card is just very, very annoying. The idea is to stay at the bottom of the screen so that the stuff doesn't spawn as much, but it's just very, very, very claustrophobic and I hate it. At least she drops a bomb, so I still have one for this now, but oh, that's horrible. Oh well, oh well. So, we now have the final character over here, somebody who is apparently from the moon. The true source of power that we've seen for thousands of years is very, very dangerous. Yep. Look at her face there, it's just fantastic. There's a ridiculous number of moon memes on us. Right, okay, well I guess that's what the purple swirl in the background is then, huh? So, this is Kaguya Houraisan. Or Houraisan, I suppose. Houraisan sounds a bit more like it. She is basically a eternal being from the moon who was exiled because she took the legendary Hourai elixir, which is guaranteed to make you immortal. Now, immortality elixir stuff is forbidden on the moon, so she got exiled and was sent to Earth as punishment. However, recently the lunar races have been warring and they are now coming to Earth. Kaguya is worried that she is going to get found and taken back because she was forgotten about, and then that's why Erin made the spell which sealed the moon away. However, everybody, you know, of course Marisa Alice noticed this, they wanted to get the moon back, and that's kind of why we're here. So, yeah, you know, Kaguya is kind of explaining a little bit of this at the moment, and yeah, she doesn't like the spell because she's trapped in here, and that's why she likes the fact that we've come here because we get to play with her, being bored to death. So, yeah, good timing, we'll play with you for a while and then take you out. Wow, yeah, that's typical. Of course it would be, because she's immortal. However, yep, this would be with Moku, so yeah, whatever. Don't really care about the moon, but whatever. Yep, we need to be punished, and blah blah, whatever. Stay on Earth is a punishment, I don't really care, and yeah, she has impossible requests. See, the other thing with Kaguya is that when she descended to Earth, a lot of humans really took a fancy to her and basically wanted to marry her. She then made 5 impossible requests, which were basically to collect a whole load of legendary items, which she already had, which meant that nobody could actually solve the requests. And she now uses these requests as Danmaku in spell cards. This fight, I'm probably going to be saying a lot of, well, this is bullshit in this fight, because I really do not like a lot of this. What I do like, however, is her theme music. It drives me to do this, I don't know, but anyway, Kaguya's speciality is trapping you, unfortunately. A lot of her attacks are very, very wall friendly. They generate a lot of walls if you don't have virtual clairvoyance, and it can be very, very difficult to get through them. This is one classic example. Good luck with this one. Basically, oh, I didn't even need to bomb that twitchy finger thing. Ah, well, whatever. Basically, I think the lasers go in a static way, but the bullets are randomized, so whatever. Ah, that's annoying. I really wanted to actually show that off, but can't do much about it. Good luck with this card as well, and a non-card even. I think there is a way you can misdirect it, but I don't know it, so yeah, good luck is definitely what was required there. I managed to get through it, so I'm okay. I've still got lots of spare lives, so I'm fine. Now, Buddhist Diamond. Oh, I'm annoyed with this card. This card is not that difficult, however, this is a classic example of what I said in Stage 1, where Marisa has to attack familiars first, and she cannot get to Kaguya. Oops, that was just bad. But yeah, she can't get to Kaguya during this card at all, and that means it takes forever to damage the thing. because damaging familiars is nowhere near as good as damaging the boss herself, and sometimes it just walls you for no reason, so yeah. The aimed fire is what makes that one really hard though. Oh well, whatever. Now again, I don't like this card, non-card either. I like the concept, but I just find it far too visually confusing to be a good attack. But, whoa. Yeah, I mean, the bullets don't have a large hitbox, so you can get away with very, very crazy dodging like I did there, but it's just not good. Now, Salamander Shield even, it's not Salamander Robe anymore. This card is very, very easy. Marisa makes it even easier by killing half the familiars before the card starts, but it's basic streaming. That's all there is. Sometimes it's annoying because when I dash move, sometimes the lasers spawn a little bit too close to me, but you know, on the whole, it's really not too hard at all, and yeah. In Lunatic, Kaguya adds some more aimed lasers to this one, but that just hastens the speed you need to move at. It's not dangerous, so that's fine. On to the last non-spell. The last non-spell is kind of alright, I guess. You need to stay low down the screen for this one, because that gives you the most time to react to the blue bullets. Usually the blue bullets aren't that big a deal, but I've been getting mega unlucky with this card recently, and the blue bullets have just been coming closer and closer and closer to me all the time, you know? Need down here. Down here is where I need to go. I think there might be some sort of mild aiming going on with the red ones, but I really don't know. You know, all I know is that this non-card is annoying. Right, speaking of annoying, this card on Hard and Lunatic is almost unfair. The thing comes from below, which is not why it's unfair, it's just the fact of it forces you way too high up the screen. And it's just very, very, very nasty. Kaguya often rams you in this card as well, so... Go, yes, excellent. Managed to capture as well, fantastic. Now, last card, Hourai Jewel. This is a thing. It's one of those cards which is a very simplified type of concept, but it's actually very, very hard to do in practice. I don't know, it's simple streaming is the main idea, but it's visually very difficult to do said streaming because, yeah, the gap between streams is very, very, very narrow, and to add to that, you've got to do a lot of, you know, dodging with the circles as well. The idea is that when you get certain distance across the screen, you have to dash to restream, and it sometimes doesn't work where you are to do said restreaming. You know, sometimes it just flat out doesn't work because of where the circles are, you know? But you know, you can sort of get away with it otherwise. Marisa has made this one a damn sight easier to actually work with in a way because she's managed to kill some of the familiars, but at the same time that makes it more confusing because there's breaks in the spell, which is, you know, there's breaks in the fire which I find harder to handle. Sort of disappointing that I failed at that one so early, but you saw the general idea there, so that's fine. Now, because we've beat Kaguya, we now have to fight the last spells that she has as well, and she is basically going to try and break our spell of Imperishable Night. She has up to 5 spell cards from here on out, and all 5 of them are rather annoying, but not as annoying as the actual main stages spell cards, I find. Most of them are all based on simple streaming type of stuff, and you've just got to kind of learn how to do it. It looks really, really bad, but it's really not that hard to do. Simple vertical movement for the first one is always good. If you fail a card, it advances by either half an hour or an hour, I think, depending on how long is left on the card. So, yeah. For this one, I just try and find the lanes and try and, you know, move into them, hopefully not getting clipped. I want to try and move back into the corner on the last one though. You have to move because of the circle, but otherwise it's tolerable if you can get into that first wave. This one is kind of like Koishi's cards actually, and a couple of Koishi's cards, in the fact of its crisscrossing stuff. It's pretty dense, but it's not that bad, so just focus on dodging one color each time and it's okay. And yep, pretty straightforward to do, just like that, there we go. On to the fourth one. They don't last very long, most of them, so it's okay. Now this one, oh, it's lagging a little bit on my computer, but it's okay. This one is heavy streaming stuff, and my general idea was to try and get roughly to the middle and then dash to the other side to misdirect the circles, but I didn't get across, so oh well. Then the final one is absolutely crazy, so nah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show all of this one off. I'm hopefully going to, but it's basically she throws a whole massive ton of different types of bullets at you, and yeah. Didn't see the star. Did not see that star. Oh well. The idea is that she ends up firing red pill bullets, then charms, and then she fires everything at you at once, and it's kinda crazy. Sorta disappointing that I didn't get that one in the end, but the major disappointment for me was Reisen. Reisen was an absolutely horrible fight, but other than that, I'm not too dissatisfied with that. Anyway, ending, so blah. And there we go, finally. Jesus Christ, I'm really sorry this took so long to do, and well, to be honest, I'm still not super satisfied with this because of the ending. However, most of it was really fairly good, and I'm thinking by hopefully looking at the records at the end of this, it should work nicely. And yeah, it's a thing, basically. I'm just glad that I finally got it done to a reasonable degree. You saw my score was still very high, actually. It was over 2.3 billion, so I'm still happy at that. I'd have liked to have broken 2.4, but that would have required me to actually do well against Reisen. One thing I will do at the start of the next video, I'm going to show Reisen's last words card, because I have it on spell practice. So before I do the next thing, I'm going to show that off, because I didn't get a chance to in the game itself. It's really unfortunate the way that ends up happening, but I can't do much about it. It was just a sort of nasty clip death at the end because I wasn't paying enough attention, so if I'd have captured that card, I'd have had enough time and that would have been fine, but oh well. So, I don't actually hear the Stage 6 theme in this ending song. You know, I mean, I kind of hear it, but it's not... It doesn't really appear to me at all, you know? It's just an ending song this time. It's not like the last two, which were sort of remixes of the final boss theme. Maybe that's because there's 2 Stage 6 bosses in this game, I don't know. But whatever. So, to all wonderful players, we give the Fear of Eternal Life, so we have the extra stage. In Imperishable Nights, you actually get the extra stage by 1cc'ing easy as well. It's definitely the easiest one to get the extra stage on, but oh well, whatever. So, as you can see, this is my 6th clear of this now, and almost every time I've hit over 2 billion points, so very happy with that. Still no register slowdown. Let's take a look. Yeah, only 5 deaths. That's the same as what I got earlier, so fairly happy with that. 13 bombs. 13 bombs is pretty good. 22 spell cards collected. That's okay. There's 38 spell cards in total, so that's not the best ever, but it's definitely fine. And yeah, that's basically it. Pretty good overall. So I'm happy enough with this. Really annoyed that I didn't do as well at Reisen as I wanted, because I've been practicing Reisen a fair bit recently and I've actually gotten good at that. I managed to get it so that I only used 1 bomb, I think, during the second non-spell. Everything else was a capture, so very, very disappointed that I didn't get more of that, but what can you do? What can you do? So, this has been gamercal, finally playing Touhou 8 Imperishable Night, and join me next time, there's more stuff to do yet. So, you know, we've got the Reisen's last word thing to do, and, you know, probably not going to capture that, but I'm at least going to show it off. And then we've got a couple of other stages to do, because there was alternate stages in this game. You know, we did stage 4A and 6B. So next time I'm going to be doing stage 4B. So that should be interesting. See you guys.